The split ratio is one of the first things you set when you build a GC method. It controls how much of your vaporized sample enters the column and how much of it gets vented away. If you get it right and the column sees the right amount of sample, you get clean peaks, good sensitivity, and reliable results. Get it wrong and your chromatogram is going to tell you. So what is a split ratio? What does it mean? A split ratio of, say, 50:1, that means that for every 51 parts of vaporized sample, 1 part enters the column, 50 parts vented away. Higher ratios send less sample to the column, lower ratios send more sample to the column. Simple. But the right ratio is going to depend on what you're analyzing. For concentrated samples, say components that are measured at a percent level, you're going to want a high split ratio, 100:1 to maybe 200:1. This keeps the column from being overloaded and it keeps your peaks sharp. For mid-range samples, things that are measured at ppm level, you're going to want something in the 20:1 to 50:1 range. That's going to be more typical for that type of sample. It gives you enough signal at the detector without pushing the column too hard. Now for trace level work, you're going to want to bring that ratio down, say 5:1 to 10:1. Here you're trying to get as much sample onto the column as you can. Anything below that, you're probably going to be better off going to a splitless injection. That's no split at all. The entire vaporized sample goes onto the column. Nothing goes out to vent. But how do you know when the split ratio is wrong? Usually the chromatogram is going to tell you this. For example, if the ratio is too low for your sample, the column's going to get more than it can handle and peaks start to front. In bad cases, the peak shape falls apart completely and neighboring peaks start to merge together. This is your column being overloaded. The fix here is usually to increase the split ratio or dilute the sample. But if the ratio is too high, you end up with the exact opposite problem. Less sample is reaching the column, peaks start to get smaller, eventually they might drop below the limit of detection and you lose the compound entirely. If your sensitivity is too low and you're confident the compound is there, try reducing the ratio. If that's still not enough, you might need to switch to a splitless injection. Now, the split ratio is dependent upon accurate gas flow. The instrument calculates it from the carrier gas flow and the split vent flow, and it reports to you what you programmed. But if the actual gas flow has shifted, the effective ratio is going to be different than what the screen says. And this can happen for a whole number of reasons. Gas supply pressure changes, column changes, septum or liner replacements, general wear and tear. The instrument does not know the flow has changed. It just keeps reporting the values that you set. So you end up with a method that looks right on screen, but is not performing the way that you expect. Peak shapes change, sensitivity shifts, results vary from run to run, and there's nothing obvious pointing you to the cause. And this is why periodic flow verification matters. Measuring the actual split flow ratio independently of what the instrument is telling you. If the ratio you set is the ratio you are getting, you are good to go. Use a flowmeter, such as the Elucia 7000 GC flowmeter. It does this directly. It measures the column flow and the split flow separately and displays an actual split ratio. You can compare this against what the instrument is telling you. Most split ratio problems are not difficult to fix. They're just difficult to spot. Checking your flow, that's how you spot them. Thanks for watching.